name's Alexis May Sanchez, and I'm speaking about this because I don't want it to be in my head anymore, and I kind of want to move on. And I'm tired of holding bad memories of people who clearly don't give a shit about me, and me not saying anything because I worry about what others might say. This video is gonna go out to people who matter, who have relevancy to whatever I'm saying, and to people who I'm probably going to meet in the future, because I was told to do this video by a wrestling coach, non-related to this video. I trust him, and I want to talk about this because I want to feel better. I am in my happy place. This is a room where I film videos. Not those videos. Just like, hey guys, welcome back, like, Anywho, I'm also a behavioral therapist, so it's good. I managed to get my degree, and I'm happy to report that I'm always on a computer, filing paperwork, talking to students and clients. How are you doing? How's your, day going? And always asking them, how's your mental health? How's your whole life been? How's everyone treating you? And those are questions I never really asked myself, to the point where I can finally make this video. It's been a whole year since the harassments and the whole antagonizing me ended actually. I was a student at MPW from April 2023 to December 2023. And at my time there, I met some coaches, 4 of them, 5 if you include Joe Maximilian. I say that because he wasn't part of the coaches, or the 4 elite 4 as I might call them, but I like to include him. He was there, and he was always coaching people, and he was always like polite, patient, and he never got mad, and never made anyone feel horrible about themselves. I'm starting off with speaking about Devine in Millennium Pro Wrestling. I was a student from April 2023 to December 2023. And I'm speaking about this because there was a pattern of behaviors from Mr. Devine where I had to witness myself and experienced and hold accountable, because yeah, sometimes they were my fault, and that's why I kind of want to elaborate, and that's why I kind of want to explain. This isn't to take Danny down, or this isn't to like get revenge, or this isn't to like bring his name down or anything like that. Please just listen to my story. Please ignore how I sound. If I start to cry, if I start to go like, no, yeah, I'm a little nervous making this video. I know the consequences of speaking out can happen. I know if you say something about a wrestler, their words might come true. No one's gonna hire you. No one's gonna want you to be in the shows. And yeah, I'll take your word, Danny. Maybe you're right, but I've been training, and I've been seeing some wrestling friends and some old ones that I haven't seen in a long time, and it's so rewarding. I've spoken about this in person, in diners, at tryouts, at coaches, and they told me the same thing. And here we are, making this video, taking advice, and making sure my word is heard. Because I matter, I'm a person, and we might be different, we might operate different, but that doesn't give you the right to treat me differently. At the end of the day, I'm still a human being. So I'm gonna begin by saying this. When I started at MPW, I met the 4 coaches, Danny Devine, Brandon Devine, Ray Rosas, and Coach Steven. I don't know his last name. I always just called you Coach or Mr. Steven. And I'm sorry, but I've seen your comedy shows. I've been there in person. I never said hi to you, but you're freaking fun you're freaking fun to watch, and yeah. Anywho, the way it started, one day at training, I was in the ring with Danny. Brandon Devine was there, a couple of the students, and one of the students was with Danny in the ring. he was doing some rolls and he couldn't get it done. I was the before we started, I remember I was there teaching him how to roll. I This is the part where it was my fault. I learned through experience and I learned through getting embarrassed. Basically, I was, a little happy being in MPW. I was like so excited and I was like, it was my fault. I needed to cool it down. I needed to like, not be so excited and not be so, you know, pumped up for being trying to be a wrestler. So basically, I one of the students was trying to do the rolls and I told him, "Oh, why don't you try doing like and like, I tried telling him like an advice or tried telling him like, "Oh, help or a tip." Danny Devine got mad at me and just goes, "Hey!" And then like, "Do 50 squats right now." And when he said that, it was just like that. And it just immediately put the flame out and I was like I just looked at him and my jaw dropped to the ground because I remember like the way it felt. It was like, yeah, I was like kind of angry. I remember like going like this, like, and Brendan Devine was there. He goes up to Danny and he goes, so basically he stopped Danny, looked at him and just goes, mm. He looks back at me and says, "Ecstasy, do 25," and that's it. So that was kind of interesting because that was random. I was not expecting him to yell at me or to get mad at me, yet alone threaten me to do like 50 squats. Like, what the hell? Like, I was just trying to be nice. And yeah, I learned through experience. I learned through, like, oh, don't be nice. Just pay attention and just let the coaches do. Like, okay, it was my fault for, like, oh, why didn't you try? Like, yeah, I was stupid. I was, trying to tell someone what to do or trying to tell them, like, how to do it correctly. And yeah, maybe, you know, I didn't have the right to do that, but you had to understand, like, I was just trying to, like, be helpful, but, I should just, stay quiet. And that's what I learned from being yelled at and being embarrassed from all the students. But his brother, yeah, I wouldn't say he stood up for me. I guess he didn't want Danny to get in trouble. Whatever this meant, and doing this to Danny, don't do it, don't do it, or don't be like that. Whatever that message was, he didn't say words, he just went like this. That to me tells me that he probably did this before, or he's aware that Danny can get. I mean, they're brothers. Of course, he's aware how Danny's behavior can be, but I guess that's was kind of nice. Thank you, Brandon. I say that because I can't talk about that, but we will talk about that soon. So the second time I got in trouble from Danny Devine is when there was a class and I was talking to one of the people. I guess we were just having a conversation. I don't know what it was about. But Danny was like, "Yo, I need you guys to do 25 push-ups. Don't talk in my class." I was like, but there was nothing happening. Like, I remember, like, there was nothing, like, in the ring going on. I remember, like, it was just Danny talking to some guy, and the students were just lined up. And he points out me, he points out another student, and the both of us had to do 25 squats. And I guess we did them, or I don't know what the fuck we did. Squats, push-ups, I forgot. We did something physical, and I don't mind physical activities. The difference with why I was kind of upset with this one is he did it because he got mad for something we were doing. We were talking when there was nothing going on. I guess he kind of got used to the fact like, oh, I'm going to start yelling at these people now. And I say people because for God's sakes, I'm 22. Like, it was kind of like disrespectful. Like, you do realize like I kind of like work in an educational field. Like, why am I being yelled at like this? I'm nearly like almost the same like age as your younger brother Brandon, and the fact that you were kind of like yelling at me made me think like, why were you only picking on me? I'm always going to your shows on Fridays after work from Anaheim to where the hell were you guys? Not even West Covina. Psh. Damn, it's been a long ass time where I don't even remember the location. I drove a very far place to get to your location, and I forgot the fucking city you guys are in. Jesus Christ, it's been a while. I've been training because my boyfriend's a boxer, and he sometimes lets me borrow the ring, and he, works with me doing hurricanranas and moonsaults. I I can't wait to go back one day. But who knows? Who knows? Right now I'm doing the behavioral therapy, and I'm, working using my psychology skills to the test on my students, my clients, and making sure everyone's A-okay. I wasn't A-okay in 2023, but we're okay. We're okay now. Sorry, I need a minute. So there was one time where Miggy Rose, Migs, I'm going to say your name because I find you to be very helpful, a professional wrestler, and I say that not because of your skills, but how your behavior is. Miggy Rose, there was a time where Danny put me in the ring, and he was making me do a drill. I do the drill, but I messed up on something, and he tells me, "Why are you doing it like that?" or something, and he tells me, "Do you not give a or I do not know the question. The question was something like this: do you or do you not mind giving a shit about wrestling?" And that felt like a trick question, or that felt kind of confusing. Do you mind or do you not mind giving a shit about wrestling? And I was like numbers, like the calculator was in the back of my head, like numbers of computer number, like digits were like circulating, and I was like trying to say, like, this is a 50-50 answer. If I say yes or if I say no, one of them can piss him off or the other one can say good job. I say no, and I say no with 3 O's. No, like with a question mark. And because I was confused, like, why is he asking me this question? He didn't ask anybody else this question. So he tells me, and I answer no, and he tells me, "Get the fuck out of my ring." I still remember when he said that, and I was prepared for him to yell at me because he says, "Get the fuck out of my ring." And he even lowered his voice yet again. He does this to sound threatening. I've dealt with men who lower their voice to sound threatening. It doesn't intimidate me. So I stood in the ring. I didn't leave the ring. I didn't leave the ring quietly. I stood there and I just told him, "Oh, I apologize. I just didn't understand your question. I meant to say, yes, I do. I'm sorry. I just didn't get what you meant to say." And I'm looking around to see, like, if everyone's watching this, because, like, y'all know I didn't do anything right to piss him off, right? I didn't say anything or deliberately try to make him angry at me. He just asked me a question and I genuinely did not know. I genuinely did not know the question, and he snapped at me for not solving his riddle or something. And that's when Miggy Rose said, "Yo, Danny." Yeah, and I heard him say his name. "Yo, Danny, just calm down." And that was kind of nice. I kind of want to cry because I'm a little pissed that that happened and that somebody had to say something to Danny. And it was kind of cool. I was proud of myself because in a way it felt like, oh, I'm not going to be disrespected. I'm not going to be yelled at like this. What did I do wrong? I did a drill. I messed up on one part and he's going to yell at me and tell me to get the fuck out of his ring. I stood my ground and I wasn't careful. I'll be honest, I was shaking. I would say shaking. I was a little scared, but I told him, I'm like, "Hey, I didn't mean to piss you off, but thank you, Miggy Rose." And if you don't remember, that's fine. I'm going to proudly say your name because I know he's giving you opportunities. I know he's giving you the belt. I know you're a talented wrestler, and I know you have a fucking badass song. I hope you still have it. I like it. I remember asking you what's the song called? I'm gonna Shazam it. And I even told him, like, "Oh, I'm awake. I had to get up early for the early bird special at my dispensary." And he goes, "Oh, you're gonna look like this?" Like, does the cow lick. And he goes, "Can I have the early bird special?" He's funny. Who's the other guy? I need a hero. I'm holding on to the hero at the end of the night. I forgot his name, but he's fun. He's fun. I'm sorry. Look, I'm getting a smile on my face because I like thinking about the positives. But, sometimes, Danny would make them horrible. And I say horrible because I got to experience it firsthand, and I got to living to tell the tale. Barely. Jesus Christ, I got endocarditis in 2024. I gotta lay off the, the good stuff. Whew. So he tells me to get the fuck out of the ring, and I was like, had to clarify, like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't understand. And I was like, kind of, God damn. Jesus. I try not to think about it too much. It's just that it was bizarre. Hang on, let me get this. My shit was on the floor. I remember one time, this is like a mix of comedy and like, it was funny. One time Danny used me as demonstration, like, to do a move on somebody, and I guess I wasn't listening, or I wasn't like doing what he was telling me, like left, or like do this, do that. Like I was getting confused, like my fault for being stupid, okay? There's times where I use my psychology in a level where I can understand people's mindset, and there's times where I'm just like I just don't know what I'm doing. Like I'm a person. We messed up, we make mistakes, we make errors. One time he put me in front of him, and he was like moving me like shoulder, and like he kind of like pulls my hair back like this, and I say comedy and kind of like surprising because yeah, he did pull my hair back, and I even went, oh, okay. I'm one of those who likes getting their hair pulled back in those situations. So, and I say that because when I got out of the ring, the first thing I told I don't want to say friends, I do want to say friends, but I don't know how they see me now. I want to tell my my fellow wrestling companions, like, did you see him pull my hair? Like, I went like this. I go, did you see him pull my hair? And they go, yeah. Like, that was, they even said like that was kind of weird. And this is why I said comedy. And I go, I don't know, I kind of liked it. I genuinely mean that as a joke, but like it was just kind of funny. Like, yeah, out of the fun history, I say fun history, but out of the fun history I had with Danny, I told him, I don't know, but I kind of liked it. Jesus Christ. But yeah, he pulled my hair back, and maybe he was mad at me, maybe he wasn't, I don't know. That was just like a random fact to bring up. Like, yeah, he pulled my hair back like this, and it was kind of not spicy, just, it brought back memories, good ones. And to the fact that I could joke about it, and I could proudly say this and let important people watch this and maybe joke about it, it's just the way I joke, don't judge me. Lord. The worst part, I guess, that happened, I always put like a little dot in this part because, sorry, I'm getting like hiccups. This is the part that I don't know. I'm gonna put a timestamp here because I can't even like fathom how do I even like put this in words, because it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing because this is the subject that's always on topic regarding LGBT. One day in training, Danny Devine was, and this is after all these incidents I just listed. Oh my god, it's a 20-minute mark. Shit. You have to talk faster, Alexis. So there was one time where I was in the ring with Danny, and he was telling everybody, like, oh, he puts me to the side, and he's demonstrating, oh, make sure, people usually call me Alexis or Ecstasy, Danny, and he knew what he did. And before anyone mocks me or ridicules me and makes fun of me, I'm gonna tell you, like, why this matters and why it's nothing to make fun of, or why, just listen. Basically, from the start, when I entered MPW, I even told his wife, Jess, and yes, I'm gonna proudly say her name because she's an intelligent, bright woman. she was the one who I handed my papers to, and I even say, "Can you make it say Alexis?" And is that she even says like your preferred name? I was like, and she's like, gotcha. And that was sweet of her. It made me know like, oh, these people care. And I mind you not, I had short hair. Okay, it wasn't like this. It was short as heck. Okay, so she knew that I was so and so. The other coaches knew I was so and so. Yet one of the coaches was telling me, "Oh, they want to learn how to do the suplexes and not suplex, Brock Lesnar, not suplex. I know it is a suplex. A suplex. What the hell? What's the thing? German suplex is when you release like this. No, I wanted to learn the suplex, and one of the coaches were like, "Oh, they want to learn how to do suplex," and I was like laughing because like, oh my god, they just used the term they. That's so funny because I've never given anyone the green light, but I could tell this person's just trying to be super polite and not make me uncomfortable or sad or say, oh, I was just smiling and I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. Everyone knew that I'm transgender. Everyone knows that. I say that everybody because I told them I wanted to be the women's champion. I don't want to be winning men's titles. I want to try and look feminine, and I told everybody everything about me since the tryout. Danny Devine once put me in front of everybody to use me as because I made a mistake. I fucked up on a drill or something, so he used me. He pulls me to the side, and he was saying, "Okay, so don't do what he did. He just did this, and you don't want to do what he just did. If you're gonna hit him, you're gonna attack him. Do not hit him." He was saying him, and he way too fast for like really fast. I know people are probably gonna joke around saying like, "Oh, wow, I'm upset because he's calling me he and him and him." I'm gonna say this again. I worked way too hard for anyone to be referring me to a guy, and everybody knew what the hell I was. Your wife, who I met once a week on your Friday shows, still referred to me as she and her. But Danny Devine, the person who I see at least 3 or 4 times a week in MPW, was telling me, "Oh, Alexis, this person who identifies as a girl since I knew since first time I met her, since her tryout, I'm gonna call her he, him, him, him." And people were looking at me. People were looking at my facial reaction. And yeah, they told me like, you were turning red. And yeah, I was a little embarrassed. I was embarrassed because it was the first time I ever had to experience something like that, where someone tried to purposely antagonize me by saying, "Oh, he, her, him." That was the first time I ever experienced that. And I know people are gonna say, "Oh, that's stupid. Why are you getting mad about that?" Again, I worked really hard to be who I am. I dated men, only men, married guys, guys with girlfriends. I've got accredited by straight men telling me that how I look like a girl. And all of a sudden, this one guy who continuously harassed me, who continuously did all this crap, pulling my hair back, telling me to get the fuck out of your ring, or hey, do 50 push-ups, or then do 25 push-ups. All of a sudden, it's calling me, oh, he, him, he didn't want to call me Alexis or Ecstasy. He was just he, him. He never did that in the past 2 months or 3 months of being underneath his wing. He never did that until today just to embarrass me. Yeah, people told me that I looked like I was turning red. I didn't want to look at anyone's faces because even I was embarrassed. I was kind of disappointed, like, okay, yeah, I understand what's going on now. You're just trying to bother me at this point. I didn't want to look at anyone's face. They were all lined up looking at me in the ring. I was just focusing on the wall behind them because I was too embarrassed to look anybody in the eye. And something tells me I could have stopped this. I could have said, "Oh, Danny, no, I don't identify as he or him." I could have done that. But think about this, people. Think about where I'm coming from. Am I really gonna stop a session just to tell, "Oh, those aren't my correct pronouns"? Yeah, I'm gonna get mocked. I'm gonna get ridiculed by saying, "Oh, the reason you got mad at Danny is because he was calling you he, him, and him." He knew what he was doing. I saved my tears when I got to the car because I kind of understood, like, oh, This guy does not like me at all. The fact that he had to pull that. Even wrestlers had to pull me to the side to say, "You okay?" I had to say, "Yeah, I'm good. I understand. No worries." And it's like, he's just having a bad day. That bothered me. He's just having a bad day. If you're having a bad day, you do not have any right to put it up against me. I did not cause your bad day, and you used it to purposely hurt me in front of others. And it worked. It worked. They didn't stop you. They didn't do anything. That's okay. I did not want them to. It was my first experience ever feeling like, oh, he, him. Again, I've never experienced that until Danny Devine came along the picture. And he was having a bad day that he had to embarrass me. It's always been she and her, or Alexis or Ecstasy. One guy called me they because they were worried, like, oh my god, I might call them something that they don't like. But, you know, that kind of got to me. I was like, oh. So that happened, and I don't blame Danny, to be honest. I had short hair. I had really short hair. Look at me right now. I had hair that looked like this. Look at me. 2023 me. And I told myself, like, yeah, maybe he's right. I have short hair, so maybe I do look like a boy. Maybe I was fat. Maybe I needed to lose more weight. Maybe... I think because he said that, I started putting my shorts a little high up to my knees. And that's when I got the nickname Lady Legacy from Teen Titans. And that kind of cheered me up. Boys talking to me or telling me, you know, Alexis, Ecstasy, she, get it, girl. You got this. I'm like, oh, it made me happy. I'm crying tears of joy because, yeah, there was times where people knew who I was. People knew what I stand for. People knew what I was about. And, you know, just because he was mad, because he was upset, he was going to put me down. Goosebumps. Goosebumps. I cut my hair short because I had a husband in 2021. I had long hair, probably like shoulder length, and I guess he died. He overdosed, and I guess I wanted to move on. I wanted to move on, and I couldn't live with myself. I did things that I'm not proud of. I have things in my body that I will forever regret and forever have. And I, you know, cut everything off just because I wanted to move on. I wanted to make sure that I didn't represent when I met this person. And funny enough, okay, I'm not going to tell you my husband's name because, you know, it's funny because I'll tell you at the end of the day, at the end of the video. But yeah, I cut my hair short. I had it short because I wanted to move on. I wanted to follow my dream then, and I was like, you know what, I need a distraction. I joined wrestling. I joined wrestling again. I started doing wrestling in 2021, but then I left because I met my husband and I got married. He died, and then I wanted to follow my dream again, but I followed my dream after I made the decision to, you know, start over. I shouldn't have done that. I should have waited till I grew my hair longer, so I would have gotten the respect as a woman, looking like a woman. But so there was that. There was times on Fridays where I would even talk to Jess, Danny Devine's girlfriend. I would rarely talk to Brendan's girlfriend, his wife. I kind of forgot her name. I think I just remember Jess. And there's times where I met Ray Rosa's wife. I would even speak to her about my husband. I would speak to her about, like, you know, yeah, dude, like, shit, I gotta move on. That's why I'm here. And, you know, she would give me good advice. She was really fun to talk to. I know her name's not Vanessa. It's a unique name. I can't remember, but I'm sorry, but you are a super wonderful woman to talk to. God be with you. Yes, I do believe in God. Yeah. That's Jesus Christ next to the Australian flag there. But so Denny purposely dead named me or called me the wrong pronouns. I know people are laughing like, that's so stupid. That's a dumb reason to get mad at. No, I have every reason to get mad at or be upset. There was a time where he was telling me, I was bumping. And this is the part where, oh my God. I was bumping, and Danny Devine once told me, oh, you're doing it wrong. And like, what do you mean? Like, I'm tucking my neck, and hitting the ground like I'm supposed to. And to this day, it bothers me because he told me I was doing it wrong. But when I did it with the other coaches, they were saying, excellent, good, perfect, next. I guess one time I was bumping wrong. I don't know. To this day, I still don't think, I feel like he was just trying to bother me. He didn't tell me what I was doing wrong. He was like, wrong, 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 like repeating wrong, wrong, wrong. And okay, I'm doing something wrong, but he's not telling me. He's just saying wrong, wrong, wrong. And I'm telling him, like, what am I doing wrong? And it's like, do it again and figure it out. I was like, oh. So I'm just like, you're not tucking your neck. Like, what? I was like, I'm confused. He's just yelling at me, and I'm in the ring. Everyone's watching outside the ring. And I remember and I'm not going to cry about this. I remember just genuinely being upset. And he tells me, wrong. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm doing it right. And he's like, no, you're not. And I was like, dude, whatever. And he says he has this on camera. And I believe it. Danny Devine, you said that there's a camera right there. And I know there's a camera. You're recording your trainings. I'm happy there's a camera so they can see how disrespectful you were acting. You pointed it out, and you even tried to threaten me, saying, there's a camera right there. I could tell everyone about you and how disrespectful you are. And I'm like, staying quiet. I can't say anything. No one else is saying anything because none of the wrestlers who participate in Friday shows, they were there. It was just the new students. He was telling me, I am the owner of this, of MPW. I am the one who decides who goes in my shows and who doesn't. And that still did not scare me. He did not have the right to basically be trying to embarrass me in front of people, trying to tell me, oh, wrong, wrong, wrong. All I said was, wait, I'm doing it right though. And he goes, no, you're not. And I was like, I got up, I visibly was upset. And one of the wrestlers, never mind, I take that back. One of the wrestlers was there. I'm going to say his name because I'm going to say your name. I forgot your name. Shit. One of the wrestlers, and he was teaching me. I'm not going to say his name. I feel like maybe I want to protect him just because he was nice to me. I want to credit him for being a nice guy, but maybe I worry that some people might see this. Maybe he might not get booked. I'm not important. Psh, I'm not someone who, destroyed anybody. I'm just telling you what happened at MPW. Oh, God. Basically, the guy who holds the rose and he wears the sunglasses, he speaks Spanish. Crap, I forgot your name. Oh, well. He kind of took me to the side and said hey, relax. It's okay. You good? He was calming me down. Yeah, I was basically upset. Yeah, I know, but I'm doing it right. I was upset. I wasn't gonna cry. I was just red in the face. I was just so angry. What the hell? He just embarrassed me in front of everybody. He just lectured me using my name, saying I'm being disrespectful. I'm the same person that you've been doing these weird things to for the past couple months now, and you're saying I'm being disrespectful. I didn't do anything but did my bumps, and you were saying, wrong, wrong, figure it out. It's on camera. I urge you to look at your video. I'm positive it's maybe on YouTube, who knows. Look at your camera and discuss what you did wrong. Maybe I did wrong. Yeah, I did get mad. There's a cause and effect. You caused something that affected this. I'm the same person you were saying, oh, he, him. I'm the same person you pulled my hair. I'm the same person you were telling me, get the fuck out of my ring. I'm the same person you were saying, oh, do 50 squats. Do 25 squats. I'm the same person who went to your show to clean up and made it nice for people to like sit down, unfold the chairs, take your trash out, and I was doing anything to, yeah, I'll say please you. I was trying to make sure I was on your good side. I was trying to make sure I was paying my dues. I was make sure I was doing what Primo Henyo taught me to do when I was training at Centino Brothers. I was trying to pay my dues. I remember an Instagram story of his, and I'm gonna say his name because yeah, he was one of the first trainers to train me. And then I went to MPW. I went to MPW not because Centino Brothers was hard, because I was in love with someone. He went to MPW. He got opportunities. He left, and it was my home wrecking era. I'm not proud of it, but Primo Henyo once posted on Instagram. It showed him, it showed a repost. Somebody posted and tagged Primo saying, "We didn't ask him to help. He came over and politely offered it." And it was a ring being assembled. That to me shows that Primo Henyo, someone of Latin culture, and I'm gonna bring that up because there's times where Danny Devine made me bring up the fact what was wrong with me. What did I do? Was it me being transgender? Was it me being Latin American? What was it? What was it about me? I kept thinking to the fact that maybe it's my culture. Maybe it's something that he doesn't like. Maybe he doesn't like that I have short hair and I'm pretending to be female. Maybe something's bothering him that's making him act this way because apparently I'm the only one he's doing this to. He hasn't done this to anyone but besides me. And there's even facts where someone would pull me to the side and tells me, "Why does he always yell at you?" I would say, "I don't know, but I probably did know at the time. I probably did know and didn't want to say anything because I did not want to get in trouble or lose my opportunity." But what opportunities? There was no opportunity that was going to come my way. Primo Henyo's posts taught me that, oh, you have to help people always, do your best and make sure you get on people's good sides. That's what that post taught me. I remember Kid Bandit told me to be respectful towards others and make sure that you're always helping. Yeah, I'm always helping. I'm always going to these shows after my work and staying after the show to clean up and making sure everything's done for the night. That was me paying my dues, and I guess that was me making a mistake. He mocks me and tells everyone not to do that sweeping shit one time, and that was me. I was the one doing the sweeping shit. I was the one brooming his floors and making sure, making the the show's nice for people to sit down and watch entertainment. And he mocks me by calling a group meeting and says, "Guys, when you get to my shows, don't do that sweeping shit." And he looks at me. He wasn't talking to me. He wasn't saying, "Alexis, don't do the sweeping shit." He was telling everybody, and I was part of that group. He says, "Don't do that sweeping shit." And he's looking at me, and that kind of hurt because okay. I think I drove around an hour and 45 minutes just to get from Anaheim to, god damn, where was Chatsworth. I drove from Anaheim to Chatsworth to help out with the shows, and I wasn't supposed to. I just did it because I wanted to. And it's like Primo's post, we didn't ask him to help. He wanted to. Maybe he just didn't want me around, or maybe he just wanted to send me a message "Oh, stop coming to our shows," and I remember one of my jobs was to collect one of the people's their ring gears. They would get they would drop, how people take off their mask or take off their sweater, they would drop it on the floor. I would get them and take it to the back. I would always cover my eyes because I didn't want to see the wrestlers changing or be in their underwear, and I just didn't want to see them. I'm into guys. I didn't want to see them because that would be disrespecting my late great husband. And I think one of the wrestlers "Why do you always cover your eyes?" At least you know why. I don't join wrestling because I want to see and wrestle half naked dudes. No, I'm respectful for people and their bodies. I even so much as I enter the men's, I call it the men's locker room, but it's just the back gym. I just always cover my eyes and go yeah. I'm innocent. No, I had sex before. I just want to be respectful, and I don't want to give the message oh, I'm a transgender and I want to touch guys all the time. That's not who I am. So, to any wrestlers who see me go into the back, covering my eyes and putting things away, I do not want to see guys half naked or anything like that. That is your business to change. Get ready for a show. I just want to be respectful and not stare and gawk and go, yeah, because I'm into guys. My husband, he's, oh, I'm married again. A two-time married champion. Where's my ring? I will get my ring. But I want to let you know that because of Primo, I was able to, and Kid Bandit, I'm going to be honest, Kid Bandit, Haas, Big Dick Haas, Coach Chaos, they taught me, to be respectful and to, help out. Help out. I remember they would always invite us, who wants to go to a show and help out? Now that I oh my fucking God, I had a skateboard and a bus. That is my transportation. I had to go to the shows and help out, sweating, skateboarding to a bus, making it late, but still watching a show and helping out. With MPW, I managed to make enough money to buy a shitty red car. And yes, Paul Logan, the owner of MPW, he's seen it. He's made fun of it. We joked about it. Like I called it a piece of shit. It purred, but that's just because the motor's too loud. But yeah, eventually I worked my ass off to pay off a black SUV, my SUV, and it's beautiful. It's my baby. I used it to help out with MPW shows, get to their arena and, be a bodyguard or turn off the lights or open the door when the entrance for a certain star needs to come outside and, do his performance. Okay. So you see, there's times where I knew what to do and when to be nice and when to do good deeds. I guess it just bit me in the ass for someone to say, oh, don't do that sweeping shit. Was he going to say, oh, don't stack the chairs shit, or, oh, don't let people in shit? I do so much work for you, Danny, and you decide to mock me, ridicule me, and for God's sakes, like, God. So, yeah, there's times where people say, like, why does he only yell at you? I don't know. And I did know why he kind of yelled at me. It just got me thinking, like, oh, maybe it's because of my race, maybe it's because of my gender, maybe it's because I don't know, I'm doing something wrong, and he's gonna yell at me. It's okay, I'm just... So, commentator Mike. Hi, Mike. One day, one show, Mike, I call him commentator Mike. I know it's, I forgot your last name. Websley? I don't know. Listen, dude. Like I said, I lost my husband in 2022. And I guess moving on was going to be a big step forward. And I met commentator Mike. I feel like Danny Devine sent commentator Mike to like talk to me or to like flirt with me or to like try to like befriend me or something, because it was interesting. I remember everyone's waking up, my roommates. I remember commentator Mike. He came to me and sat with me and said, hey, hi, which wrestling, what's your name, he was telling me like, oh, who he was, and like, oh, I travel all the time, or like, oh, I met Chris Van Vliet. He was like, he was super excited to tell me like, oh, he's like done all these things, and that's cool for him. I guess I wasn't like too much like sold on him, just because like, yeah, I'm still kind of dealing with like a death with a loved one, super close loved one. So my God. So I feel like Danny Devine sent Mike Webster. I forgot your last name, I'm sorry. Because it was just kind of odd. Like, you have Danny Devine who's been treating me like shit for the past 4, 5, 6 months at this point. And, all of a sudden his friend, I'm not saying his best friend, but some guy he's buddies with, comes up to me and starts talking to me and starts trying to like, being goody to me, to the point where he wanted to ask me on a date, to the point where he asked me to be his girlfriend. It led to that. But I didn't feel like this is authentic. I didn't feel like this is real. Like, no, Danny sent you, didn't he? I didn't say that. I just kind of sensed it in a way, because, like, no way in fucking hell is someone gonna try to be all nice and lovey-dovey with me while Danny Devine is, saying and doing this horrible shit to me, and people witnessed it. Wrestlers had to step in. Your brother, Danny, had to step in. And all of a sudden, your friend Mike, the commentator, wants to talk to me and, be all nice to me. I had short hair, so I didn't believe him, but at the same time, I surprisingly got laid by a couple people at MPW, so maybe he wasn't joking. At the same time, I didn't want to fall for any of Danny's tricks. I didn't want to fall for another one of Danny's traps. I didn't want to get embarrassed by Danny again. I did talk to Mike. I did, went out. He got me an ice cream once, and that's basically it. That's my history with him. He was telling his friends, oh, this is my girlfriend. And I did not agree to the girlfriend role. I did not agree to say, oh, yeah, I'm your girlfriend. I didn't say that. But I felt like Danny sent Mike to, like, flirt with me or be my boyfriend, to try to, like, hurt me or, like, to try to fuck with my mind, because that's what all Danny has been doing for the past 6 months, trying to fuck with my mind. So, the way, I'm sorry, Mike, I didn't know how to tell you. I didn't want to say, oh, I feel like you're being sent to me by Danny, because then all of a sudden I'm gonna get in trouble or be told, oh, don't come to MPW anymore, or get blacklisted. I didn't want to tell you that, oh, I don't feel comfortable being with you because I feel like you were sent by Danny Devine to talk to me, to I don't know, like, I liked commentator Mike. I thought he was genuinely cute, just because how simple and, basic he was. That might be an insult to people, but I like basic people. I like simple. I dated guys with muscles. I dated guys with abs. It's the same thing. Like, it's nothing different. It's just, he was nice. And I let him go. I let him go because I did not want to get fooled or get pranked or get, like, ha 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 ha. I sent my friend Mike, I'm speaking as Danny, I sent Mike to date you, and now Mike's gonna leave you. And yeah, it's kind of what it felt like. I didn't trust Mike just because he was friends with Danny, and, you don't flirt with someone after being, I couldn't tell Mike, yo, Danny treats me like shit. What's he gonna do? Like, what the hell? I had to once again, push Mike to the side and continue on my goals, my dream as a wrestler. But maybe me denying Mike kind of, like, made Danny treat me even worse, or kind of, like, made Danny, like, I don't know, it just, nothing changed. I just kind of, like, it kind of, like, made things worse in a way. Okay, so he once had, like, well, one time, I say he's fucking with my mind once because one time in the shows, he was telling me, one time I thought he said go, like, go, open the door, or don't open the door. I might have misheard something, but I opened the door when I wasn't supposed to, and he cussed me out. Logan wasn't there, so he couldn't, back me up, or he couldn't say, hey, don't talk to Alexis like that. Like, Logan's nice to me. Logan's beyond respectful to me. He was, oh my God. God, Logan, I'll talk to you in a bit. But, I don't know, Danny basically got mad at me for opening the door and letting people in when I wasn't supposed to. And I guess I must have misheard. But Danny goes, like, you can't just do whatever you want to do. What the hell's wrong with you? And he used that catchphrase on me. Like, as my days continued at MPW, I can't just do what I want to do. That word started because I opened the door and simply let people in when it was a mistake. Okay, that wasn't my cue. I apologize. He tells me, what the hell are you doing? You can't just do whatever you want to do. He used it to me on training. If I'm too busy helping someone with a move and he tells me, Alexis, why aren't you doing this? You can't just be doing what you want to do. Like, see, this is why you get in trouble so much. This is why you're not in the shows. This is why, like, he's just going at it and at it and adding onto it. So there was a time where I was, like, in the ring. I was doing some running the ropes. I was warming up. And then Danny gets mad at me, says, "Who said you could run the ropes?" And I said, like, "Oh, the ropes, I mean, the ring just seemed unoccupied. The ring seemed like nobody was using it. So I just got in and I was, getting warmed up." And it's like, "Oh, okay, so you just want to do what you want to do, huh? Do 25 push-ups. Don't disrespect, don't disrespect my time," or something like, oh, I don't know. I'll be honest. And yeah, I'm going to talk about this because I guess the reason I was running the ropes is because, my time at Santino Brothers, they would tell us to warm up or train to run the ropes before class starts. I know this isn't Santino Brothers. At Santino Brothers, I was always talking and I was always excited, and I was getting in trouble. That's fair. Thank you, Kid Bandit. You taught me some harsh lessons, but they were to make me understand the ways of the wrestling business. And when I get to MPW, I'm quiet because I don't want to get in trouble. And then Danny Devine saying, "Oh, you can't just do what you want to do, or he'll pull your hair," or say, "Get the fuck out of my ring," after he quizzes you. Different experiences. I learned harshly because I was new and excited at Santino Brothers. And I was yelled at for staying quiet or being disrespectful by not talking to people, or, helping others, and, speaking out of term. So different places, different rules, different authority figures, different ways to learn. At the end of the day, you're going to get embarrassed and you're going to, make an ass out of yourself in front of friends and workers. Yeah. So, he once, like I said, he once had a whole meeting with everyone's telling me what to do when you guys get at the Friday shows, not to do that sweeping shit. And he would look at me and I'm like, when has me brooming ever been a problem? When has me picking up a broom and that still bothers me to this day. I still broom to this day. I still do shit to this day, and I'm hearing that in my head. Don't do that sweeping shit. Me doing that sweeping shit makes me feel closer to being a woman. And let me tell you, being transgender doesn't mean that I am a woman. It just means that I want to be a woman. I admire women so much that I want to be one. I don't find them sexually pleasing. I will get jealous, but I'll, admire a woman. And, I want to be like that. I want to be thin. I want to have long hair. I want to have nice linear eyebrows. I want to clean like a woman. I do dishes. I clean dishes. I cook. Not only do I do the sweeping shit, I also do the mopping shit. Danny, you may not do that at your house. Maybe you might save that for your wife. God forbid you treat her like an object, but please. Oh my God, his wife even told me, "You're just having a bad day." Why are so many people telling me that you're having a bad day? Your wife that I meet once a week on Fridays, who calls me she, her, Alexis, and she has to tell me, "Oh, sorry, he's just having a bad day." Because yeah, when you did yell at me for, "You can't just do whatever the fuck you want to do," when I opened the door, she said, "Sorry about him. He's just having a bad day." I don't have to hear that from any woman's or any husband's wife. I don't have to hear that. That scares me. That why is she saying, "Oh, he's just having a bad day"? She's used to your behavior, Danny. That concerns me. And I am concerned because I care for women. I'm a feminist by heart. That might piss you off. I'm part of the woke movement. Yeah, I care about people's feelings and equality and making sure that there isn't one specific person at the top of the food chain. Everybody is human. And you think you're this person who's telling, "Oh, you can't do this. This is my wrestling ring. Oh, I'm the champion. I made myself the champion. You can't do that. Get the fuck out of my ring, or you'll pull your hair back, or you can't just do whatever you want to do." And all of a sudden, your best friend or your friend Mike Wexler flirts with me, or starts talking to me, takes me out for ice cream, wants me to be his girlfriend. I would probably be his girlfriend. I found him cute. I found him basic, but there was that thing in the back of my head, no, this is a work from Danny. I don't trust it. I'm sorry, but maybe I just have to find someone else. And I did. I'm sorry, Mike, but I'm coming forward and letting you know now. I will send you $12 for that frozen yogurt. I think I might have your number and I could still send you via Apple Pay, but who knows. Oh my God. He once called a meeting and, a different one, where I guess he wanted to send me yet another message. To this point, he's getting used to sending messages and saying, oh, sending messages and saying, like, he said, like, oh, people might think I'm rude. People might think I'm a bully. He's talking about this to himself towards everybody. And people might think I'm an asshole. And he's looking at me. And he's making it, and he's doing this. And I'm like, I'm smiling a little and I'm squinting, like, why are you looking at me? Like, what the hell? Those words have never came out of my mouth where I think you're being an asshole. I do not think you're an asshole. You make yourself look like one. I just think you're immature. Immature because you're disrespecting me. You're a man in his 30s trying to disrespect someone who's barely entering their early 20s. I'm 24 now. And you're gonna yell at me at 2023 because something about me is bothering you and you're not saying it. And now you're saying that, oh, people might think I'm a bully. People might think I'm an asshole. And you look at me giving me this nod. And I'm like, why are you looking at me? To the fact that others had to saw you looking at me. I'm like, when have I ever said that, oh, Danny Devine is rude to me. Danny Devine is disrespectful. Danny Devine has done all these things. I kept so much shit from you hidden. I did not say a single word because I was worried that you're going to say, oh, get out of my school, get out of my class. I get it. This is your school. You didn't have to work for it. You didn't have to earn it. You just got handed things. When I met you, you were the champion of your own school. You made yourself the champion of your own school. That's how problematic it was to think that I'm saying that you're bullying or you're being an asshole. I have never said that. And in this video, I have never said that you're being a bully or you're being an asshole. I'm just explaining the time that's been going on at my availability during MPW. Like, it's not going to work that way. I don't think you're being rude. I don't think you're an asshole. I just think you're immature. And I'm telling you these stories because it's the truth. I'm not going to randomly make a story to someone I don't know. Like, yeah, I'm telling you this because I've met you. I've seen you. I have photos with you. I have videos with you. I still have conversations that I know that you don't want people to hear, but I'm going to say them. You've disrespected me a whole amount of times. Like, it's just ridiculous. You're supposed to be a man in your 30s who knows right from wrong. But you don't, and that's what shocks me. You mentioned Sonic the Hedgehog so much, Danny. I know you like Sonic. You talk about, oh, I already play Sonic Heroes or Sonic Unleashed. Or there's even time where you even bought Sonic shirts. Like, this guy really likes Sonic. And I'm astonished because, like, okay, his immaturity kind of elaborates and explains his fascination with Sonic. So I kind of took that with me, like, okay, I think I know what kind of person I'm dealing with. I lost respect for him as an adult, and I kind of gained a new way of the way I look at him, knowing that, like, oh, the way he's been harassing me and bothering me, and the way he's been calling me these things or trying to embarrass me by publicly doing this and shaming me in front of people. Now I know what kind of person he is because of his fascination with Sonic. I'm aware of the Sonic fandom. I'm aware of the Sonic fanatics. Oh, God. And I'm going to use this when I'm done with this, okay? So he tries to go to Instagram Live one time, and this was after I left Wexler. Mike told me that he was in the MPW, and that was cool, but at the same time, I was thinking of, like, not breaking up. I was never officially with him, but I'm going to use the term breaking up with him because, yeah, we were talking and going out, but I just felt like it was one of Danny Devine's tricks. I felt like Danny Devine sent Mike to talk and flirt and be my boyfriend, and eventually he's gonna hurt me by saying, oh, I'm leaving you with this girl or something, or oh, I think you're fat, or oh, I think that you're too ugly, or oh, I think that it's not gonna work out. I feel like it was gonna be one of those tricks. So I told Wex, I'm sorry, I don't think we can And he just goes, mm-hmm, turns around and walks away. That kind of stung a little, because, you know, I kind of, maybe it was a trick, maybe it wasn't, but, you know, I have to be strong on this one. I have to let love go. You know that saying, if you love something, let it go. I had to let it go. And I'm sure he's found, you know, a real girl, a real woman with, you know, tits, a vagina. And I'm sure he's actually found true love at this point. So, you know, there goes my shot. I sacrificed love because I did not want to get hurt. I can't call it love because I was worried that, you know, it was going to be a trick from Danny. So, you know, I had to say goodbye to Mike. And after I broke up with Mike, I guess the word got out or something, because everyone knew I was, not everyone knew I was dating him. I guess people saw that we were always together. Like, I remember we were in the parking lot playing on the Nintendo Switch, and Barbie Boy had to pass by, and he sees us and goes, beep, beep. He's like, oh, I just remember Barbie Boy just by saying his name. I remember, you see, I remember the wrestlers, and I remember, like, some of them still took me out, like, to Hooters or Chipotle. Like, they would take me out on Friday shows to, like, ask me questions or say, like, you know, like, what are my interests? What kind of wrestler do I want to be? There's still people who still cared for me, even though I was just someone on the side helping out or giving away tickets, or I don't know what the hell I was doing at the shows, bodyguard, or, you know, making sure people are going one by one. Crowd control. People would invite me, and, you know, we would go out and, you know, get a beer, smoke some weed, and, oh, I'm just reminiscing. I miss Wax. But we have to move on. I'm getting goosebumps because, you know, yeah, I kind of had a crush. He was nice. He was simple. I'm unorthodox. I'm a little chaotic. I'm a little out there. And it's like the perfect polar opposites. Anywho, Danny was on Instagram Live one time, and we were doing sunset flips, and he was, I guess, promoting his school. He was making sure people understood his business, and he was saying, oh, look who we got here. We have, like, so-and-so watching this. And while he was recording me, he was saying, oh, look, we got Mike Wexler, like, and I'm like, of course Danny's gonna say his name while he's filming me on live doing sunset flips. Like, that's so Danny. That's so Danny. It's the future I can see. But at this point, he's using Mike's name to, you know, fuck with me while I'm, you know, he's Instagram Live. And Danny Devine's being awfully kind of nice to me while he's on Instagram Live. Like, that was kind of random. Like, no way in hell will you ever speak so positively about me if the camera was not going live. That pissed me the fuck off, just because I was like, really? Now you're gonna act all polite while there's freaking, you know, the cameras are rolling? And it just didn't make any sense. Like, why can you be like this all the time? What did I do to make you not wanting to have a conversation with me, or not wanting to like fist bump me, or like give me a hug? And like, I say that because I always thought, like, maybe he just doesn't like the fact how I always say goodbye to him. I'll be honest, Danny did look like my husband, my dead husband, from time to time. So maybe I didn't want to say like hug him or give him a fist bump. Maybe I wanted to respect him as a married person, or he has a girlfriend. I know he had a girlfriend since I met him. And I guess other trainers, I would say, you know, hug them, say, oh, bye, see you Friday. Or like, I would give him fist bumps, or like, I would like, you know, Danny just didn't work out. He didn't like saying goodbye, or he didn't want any like contact with me. But basically, he was only nice to me when the camera was live. We're gonna put a pin on that. God. Instagram Live and then breaking up with Mike. So, after the whole Mike Wexler, like, thing finished, like I said, I would go out with the wrestlers. I would, go out and get food, or get some beer, or smoke weed, or who knows what. There were times where wrestlers would get a little too close, and they would tell me, like, oh, like, are you a bottom, or like, you know, do you wear girls' clothing? Like, sorry, I'm getting hiccups and I'm getting goosebumps yet again. Oh, my little hairs are rising up, because yeah, there'd be times where like men would come up to me and like ask me, like, you know, do your laundry, or like, do you not like do you take dick good? I can't say these names, and I don't plan on it just because I don't think there's a reason to. I don't have any vendetta or revenge, but I know that there was times where like you know, the boys, I say the boys as in them, I don't want to be part of that like group. I'm more of like a tomboy. I'm more, if I was a girl, I want to be a girl who's feminine and wants to do things like rowdy and like, you know, chillante shit like guys would do. So I would be want to be part of the pack, but I wasn't part of the boys per se. I wasn't part of the boys backstage who would like, you know, goof around and like joke around and be in their underwear or drink a cold one and stuff like that. But there was times where like, oh, you know, they would be comfortable with me to ask me, oh, you down to fuck? And I had short hair. I had short hair. I didn't have long hair. I didn't have feminine hair. I had a feminine body, like, so to speak, but I didn't think in a million years, like, these, like, a grown man in his 30s who has a girlfriend would say, oh, you down to fuck, or you down to, like, do things. And yeah, I would be open to it just because, you know, the whole moving on, my husband's died, like, yeah, let's just get it over with. Like, just maybe this is what I need. I would get, I don't want to say dick down, but I would say had my own private intimate moments with certain wrestlers, plural, and no, that does not make me a whore or a slut, because face it, if I identified as a man and I would be fucking women, sticking something in their vaginas and grabbing a handful of tits, he would be calling me your bro. You would be giving me high fives. You would be calling me, oh, I'm the man for having sex with multiple women. I know I know females get a bad rap if they sleep with different guys, they get called a slut. But you know, we were pretty buddy. I didn't. I always tell myself like I want to get Brad Maddox, and I got Brad Maddox, and not in a three-way, so to speak, but you know, just you know, in my own time. Good times. But I guess Danny got the word. And I brought up the word the boys because I guess the person who I hooked up with told Danny and told everyone else or something, to the point because everyone once again had a group meeting. This is the third time. The first time was to not to do that sweeping shit. The second time was, oh, I'm a bully, or people say I'm mean, and he was looking at me. This is the third meeting we're having. And it's been like 8 or 7 months by now. And at this point, he's just letting new people have debuts. And I guess I was just like, you know, still training because Danny didn't want me to have a debut. Gee, I wonder why. We were having our third meeting, and that's when one of Danny's friends, I feel like maybe the guy I hooked up with, you know, he is friends with Danny. He see me talk back to Danny. He see me get mad at Danny, and that's why we hooked up. We hooked up because he saw how aggressive I was and how, like, I could handle myself with angry men of power. Like, yeah, I can. I'm not scared. And I guess that's what broke the ice. Like, damn, I kind of want to fuck you. Like, that's flattering. Okay? And I could talk about this because maybe it does have to do with my character in the future. Who knows? Someone wanted to fuck me. I can't say the names, but one of them, you know, told Danny that, oh, maybe, maybe we did have sex, because Danny was telling me, when you get here, you need to be like, your mind has to be set. I don't want to know how'd your weekend went. I don't want to know who'd you fucked. And when he said that, my I don't know what went down, like my heart, my throat, I don't know what went down. I was like, fuck, he knows. And I'm looking around to see any reactions, and I look at Danny and he's looking back at me, and I'm like, yeah, he knows. I'm looking at other people's reaction, and they were just like, they weren't paying attention. But I look at Danny's eyes and he's just looking at me, and I'm like, yeah, he knows. I think that was like meant for me. But I wasn't even getting distracted. It was odd because the day after we did have sex, Danny did pair us. Me and the guy I had sex with, he paired us. Like, you two seem like a good couple. Like, you two do the drill and do the... And we did it perfectly. I'll be honest, I pulled like a little Tiffany Stratton with like on the ropes. And I was like... and I think, I don't know, I was like being a little flirtatious. To the fact that I wanted to get this guy's attention again, to the fact where I had to get Joe's sunglasses and make Joe come up to me and retrieve those sunglasses, like if Joe came out of like, you know, hanging out with me. And it worked. I had to take Maximilian's like glasses because I wanted to make this guy fuck me again, and it worked. I know I'm like a little guilty about that because I wanted him to come up to me and, you know, me giving him an item that belonged to him, a personal item, and having the guy say, oh, because, you know, he did tell me that he's fucked other female wrestlers. So I'm guessing in the wrestling world, wrestlers fuck each other and, you know, are just chill about it. You just got to stay quiet about it or you get in trouble. So my lips are sealed. His lips weren't sealed. So Danny, you know, knew I fucked this dude. Maximiliano knew I fucked this dude just because he saw me get in his car. That was pretty obvious. That was good. I'll always remember that. You take dick good. Yeah, I think I do. I'm proud of it because, again, let's be honest, if I was a guy and I would be fucking women, you would be fist pumping me and calling me your bro. But because I'm a girl, or I'm someone who wants to be one in the future, I ain't gonna get called names. But, you know, who cares? That's my story, at least. So, let me see this. So, my final times in MPW were because at the wrestling shows, on Friday's shows, I felt like I was getting replaced at this point because I feel like he didn't want me to do the chairs anymore. He didn't want me to do anything anymore. He made sure that he was doing everything himself now, to the point where there was nothing for me to do. I wasn't even allowed to sit in, like, where my friends or I can't call them friends. I could call them workers, but I feel like I was close enough to call them my friends. I respect them enough to call them my friends. But it has to be mutual, so I can't really say friends. But here was a point where he even had to yell at me in front of everybody yet again to say, why are you standing there? Like, go sit over there. You can't just do what you want to do. And then, like, I guess he didn't like that I was sitting with where I usually sit to watch the shows, where, like, the guys playing, like, their music and everything. I was gonna sit there, and I guess it's a rule where you can't have, like, I guess 2 people there or something. So, you know, he embarrasses me. He tells me to go sit over there. I go sit over there, and these are filled with people. And he sits somebody else there. I guess it's his friend. You know, I guess he didn't get yelled at, but he does this with the friend. He does that. So after he just yells at me and tells me it's like, I can't just do whatever I want to do. I wasn't doing what I was just wanting to do. I just sat down because this is where I usually sit when I watch the shows and I help out. If you didn't need my help, that's all you had to say. So yeah, basically I was getting replaced and he didn't have to tell me. He just had to yell at me in order for me to get it. I sat down where Logan used to sit, and Logan, it got to the point where I even had to tell Logan, are you going to be here at the show? And I wouldn't go to the show if Logan wasn't going to go, because no way in hell am I going to go to a show just so I can get ridiculed or get discriminated by Danny Devine again. I was scared that I was going to get yelled at again, that I didn't have to tell Logan anything about Danny, just simply tell him, hey, are you going to be there at the show? I just want to know, because, you know, it's nice to see you, you know, I just want to make sure, because I know if Logan's there, Danny's not going to yell at me. If the owner of MPW was present, Danny was not going to yell at me. When he wasn't present, he yelled at me. So it was just an obvious thing at this point that already clicked in my head. But what am I going to tell Logan? What am I supposed to tell Logan? Hey, this guy you know, Danny Devine, that you've known for so many like years, and me, a person you just met for the past 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, yeah, he's been doing this weird things to me and I don't get it. I don't like it. What's going on? I couldn't do that. There's a life lesson that I learned when I came out forward with some allegations with me being sexually coerced into performing oral sex in high school. When I came out with that statement and I did show proof and evidence, I had people not wanting to believe me because they believed this person longest. So that's a life lesson. I learned to shut my mouth about when I'm being harassed and when I'm being, you know, I don't want to say discriminated, but you know what I mean. I can't tell Logan that. That's his friend. Danny is Logan's friend. If I said something, I probably would have been kicked out or said, you know, you cause too much drama. And the thing is that Danny actually spoke to Logan about me, though. Danny had to speak to Logan about me, saying how I'm disrespectful, how I'm rude, how not to put me in the shows because how I'm difficult to work with. I have not started or caused anything to make you say, oh, I'm causing trouble. If I open the door by accident because I thought you said now, that was my fault. If I injured somebody because I might have like did a move wrong, guess what? Nobody said anything when you've injured people. When coaches have injured the students, nobody said anything. I don't appreciate Logan telling me, hey, so Danny told me that so and so, like, if Danny told you all of this, why isn't Danny telling you about like the stuff that he's doing? I couldn't have that conversation with Logan because all I could say was, okay, yeah, I was just being stupid, naive, and following orders and making sure I don't get in trouble. Again, if I said something to Logan about Danny, it's gonna look like I'm rebelling or I'm trying to like start an argument. I'm getting hiccups. I'm just a little pissed, sorry. I couldn't tell Logan. I could just only say, okay, I won't do it again. Okay, that's understandable. Even Logan has told me, yeah, Logan himself has grown up in a life full of wealth and privilege. I did not get to have that. Please understand that I was removed from my household in 2020 because I was transgender. I had to drive up to your school from Anaheim to Chatsworth for an hour and 49 minutes just so I can train, just so I can be in your shows, just so I can help out in your shows, excuse me. I was never in your show, but maybe it was a dream. Maybe if I was in trans, I would have achieved it. Maybe if I was in Mexican, maybe I would have achieved it. I don't know. You made me think those thoughts because I was wondering, what did I do that made me be here? What did I cause? To this day, I still find it kind of weird because, yeah, I brought up my Latino culture because you were letting people in the school with certain aspects that you were looking for. People that looked like you were getting in before me and were getting opportunities before me. And I don't want to bring up race because then I'm going to get laughed at, because then I'm going to get ridiculed saying, oh, she thinks that, oh, Danny's only letting white people in. I don't think that at all. From what I saw, from the statistics, you were being so much nicer to people who look like you. I don't want to say white. I don't want to call anyone anything. I was raised to treat people with respect and equality. I do not have the energy to call myself anyone Asian, black. I can't even call somebody a transgender or a gay person. I can't say that. I'll say an LGBT person. I'll say a dark-skinned person. I'm one of those people who cannot say the color. I'm sorry. I just have respect. That's something that you do not have, Danny. Respect. You didn't allow... You only yelled at me and a Middle Eastern student. He was a junior. Oh, God. I remember the time you embarrassed him so much. One time he opened his phone, he heard anime, and you say, what's his name? Whatever, you just told him, yo, put the hentai down. Or you even told him, get the fuck off my ring. And he would even do it way worse on him. The difference between me and him is that he left and he never came back. Yeah, he came back once and then he left again and never came back again. I kept going and going. I took your criticism, I took your negativity, I took them, I ate them, and I continued on. I wanted to show myself, it doesn't matter how disrespectful this person is being, I'm gonna finish this course, I'm gonna finish this course by the end of December, and then I'm done. I can stand the heat in the kitchen. I can stand anything you have to say to me. I'm gonna be here until this year is done. I'm not gonna quit because you're being disrespectful to me. Never in a million years have I thought I'm going to talk about this in a video, but honestly, it's been bothering in my head. And people who know me in the wrestling community, who have seen me making videos about this before, people have seen me talk about, oh, this shit has happened to me. And yeah, I've been bold about it. Yeah, I've been brash about it, and it's not going to change me. I'm telling you this because I didn't think I was going to make this video. I thought it was just going to be one of those things, oh, this happened to me at MPW and it's just in my memory now. And I'm not going to tell it against anybody because it's going to it's not going to matter. Maybe it won't. Maybe it won't matter. But it's going to matter to me if I say something about it. Knowing that I actually said something, and I'm going to spread awareness about this, that you cannot be treating different people individually like that. You had no right to disrespect me, to pull my hair, to say he, him, or him, when your wife, the one person I met once a week, has been calling me she, her. Your friends, your coaches, your fellow coaches, fellow students, the wrestlers in the back on Fridays would still call me her, her, she, Alexis, ecstasy. But you took the time and day and pleasure to not even look me in the eye when you were saying he, him, you're gonna hurt Alex, you're gonna hurt him, he's not gonna, like, hey, you weren't looking at me in the eye, you weren't doing anything, you were just looking on the ground, you weren't looking at the students, you were just like, and I couldn't say anything. Again, what am I supposed to do? Stop the entire class and say, hey, that's not my gender, that's you're discriminating against me, that hurts. Or, hey, Danny, can you please not call me that? I worked way too hard to have this feminine body. I worked way too hard to be who I am. Can you please not downgrade me by calling me he and him? On paper, that's what it says, and your wife even knows it. Your brother even knows it. That's why I got mad. That's why I got upset. That's why I left. That's why nothing was changing. Everything was going to stay the same. The final straw when I left MPW was when Logan was present. Paul, the owner of MPW, was present, and Danny Devine was the teacher, and I was messing up a drill. Yeah, I know I mess up drills, okay? I'm trying to learn this shit, okay? But I was messing up a drill. And Danny, I thought he was going to yell at me again, or ridicule me, or disrespect me in front of everybody yet again, which I was prepared for and used to at this time. But he didn't. He did something way worse, in my opinion, because it just showed what kind of human being this person is. And I'm not going to call him a man. I do not feel like he deserves the right to call him a man. I do not see you as this authority figure or this entity where you're supposed to be like, oh, I'm in charge and I'm a man, I'm masculine. No, you're just an immature boy. The reason I say that because when Logan was present and you were going to yell at me or ridicule me or do something to embarrass me, you didn't do that. You know what Danny did? For the first time, Danny Devine was nice to me in person. It took a whole 9 months for him to finally be nice to me in person. All because Paul was watching. Danny was basically saying, here, you go like this? Uh-huh. No, not like that, not like that. You go like this. He was talking to me like a human being. And that kind of shocked me because, like, you haven't been speaking to me like this in the past 9 months. And now you want to be all nice to me because, oh, I just put two and two together. You were nice to me the first time because we were on Instagram Live. And now that Logan or Paul is watching, you want to be nice in front of him. When he's not here in the shows, you're going to yell at me, you're going to cuss me out, you're going to say, get the fuck off the chair. You can't just do what you want to do. You did all these things to me. But the one time he was present in training and I messed up, you didn't yell at me. You didn't say, get the fuck off my ring. You didn't pull my hair. You didn't say he, him. Even Paul calls me she and her. And he's a Republican. I have so much respect for Paul as a Republican because I know what he's about. And the fact that even he was calling me her, I even got to joke with him one point during June, Pride Month. I told him, hey, since I'm trans, can I get a discount on my payments? Like, he even had a good laugh. Paul, I love your Instagram. I love the shit you post. I love the comments you leave. You are a hard-ass Republican, and I have so much respect for you with that because you treated me more like a human being than you did with Danny Devine. I know what it's like to be ridiculed by people or a group of people that you side with Logan. We may be the opposite when it comes to politics. My husband is a Republican. That's why we're together. He thinks I'm wrong. I think he's silly, but we still love each other. The fact that you had a mindset with your political agenda and you still managed to treat me more respectfully, and you rarely see me. You saw me a couple times on Fridays. You saw me I would get so excited when I see you on a weekends, not weekends, weekdays during the trainings. And it was just kind of mind-boggling. Like, all of a sudden, Danny's nice to me because you're present. And that's the moment I knew, like, yeah, this isn't gonna work out. Like, this is stupid. This entire time, he could have been acting like this towards me since day one, but it didn't happen. Logan, I like that post you made with the the news media, how Democratic News, peanut butter jelly sandwiches, are they racist? And I was just laughing my ass off, like, I remember this picture. Oh, Logan, you brought me Chinese food once, and I haven't gotten sick in 6 years, and you were the first person to witness me getting sick for the first time. I was like sweating one time, and I was like, I feel fine. Like, no, I was sweating one time during the shows, and I just failed to realize, oh, I'm getting sick. Okay, so there was that moment where, like, Logan was nicer to me, and Danny was a little disrespectful to me. And Danny was nicer to me when Logan was present. That's when I knew that it wasn't going to work out. At this point, Danny's just letting people who have the same color skin as he does to get in the shows. It's just kind of ridiculous because, like, it took one of the Latin American wrestlers in MPW, it took him 3 years to win a belt, and that motherfucker is talented as hell. The Handsome Devil? Who is the Handsome Devil? Hablé mucho con él en español, and I like talking to him in Spanish. His name's not Valentino. Oh well. The Handsome Devil would always speak to me in Spanish, would always give me advice. Like, he would always make sure that I'm doing good, I'm doing well. He's like, you okay? I was like, is he hurting me too much? Where he's like grabbing my hand and we're like, you know, doing lockups. It was cool. It was nice to talk to him because he was Mexican. So it was like, I told myself I don't call people that, but he was Latin American, but he was of Mexican culture, and I'm Mexican culture too. So it was like nice to like speak to him and like understand him and, you know, get advice from him from time to time. He was respectful, he was patient, and he was beyond reasonable when it came to like working with him. So thank you. God, I feel bad that I forgot your name, but you know, I forget shit. I've been doing crap of my own. Maximilian, when you were training us, you were super respectful and you were super, you know, persist. You weren't getting mad. You were always making sure that we did it right and correctly without getting mad. And I respect that about you. I would joke with you. Because I guess you wanted to have a conversation with me, or you wanted to like break the ice with me. And that was kind of nice. I was a little, you know, short-haired, awkward, penguin-like student, so he was kind of like, I was having my hands on the rope rings like this. We were outside, and he was like, Gla, like trying to interact with me, and I go, don't Shayna Baszler me, Joe. You could Brad Maddox me. Like, we were like laughing. He was having a good laugh, and he was like, like he was doing his guy laugh. I say guy laugh because guys do this weird guy laugh where they go like, yeah, he taps my back and we're just laughing. Like, it was nice. I have my memories with Maximilian. As for other coaches like Coach Steven, I ended up going to his laugh show, his comedy thing in Burbank, and it was super funny. I enjoyed it, and I know he didn't see me, or I didn't go, oh, hey, over here. Like, no, I just want to make sure he does his own thing. Highly doubt he remembers me. My boyfriend and I saw it. My boyfriend enjoyed it, and my boyfriend was like, damn, he seems like a chill guy. Like, shut up. He's a great guy. Ray Rosas. Did I have a crush on Ray Rosas? Of course not. Nobody asked, but here we are. I say that because I would joke with Ray Rosas all the time. He's someone I looked up to a lot. He would always be patient with me. He would witness things, and there was time where he would perform a sharpshooter on me, and I would joke around and I'd be like, oh my gosh, this is like the dream I had the other day. Oh my god. It's like, I made him lose focus to the point where, like, yeah, he failed the sharpshooter attempt, And everyone heard and they were like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, I would joke around like that with him, and that's how close we were. He had to make the first impression to, like, be buddy buddy with me. And I was like, why couldn't Danny be like that? Why couldn't Danny Devine like be nicer to me like that? Like, I hug Ray Rosas. I always laughed with him. I joked with him. Like, was it because of that? Was I not doing that with Danny? Like, did I had to do that with him? I tried doing that with Danny and he got mad at me. Moving on. Okay. So, Brandon Devine. I know you were there when you try to stop Danny from trying to bother me or try just like to make me feel bad. I applaud you. I applaud you so much. But you need to understand that something that I realized, Brandon, and I can't talk about this with everyone because I want to protect who you are as a person and I want to protect your status as what you are. I can't tell people how nice you are to me, how nice you were to me. I could have had everything. I could have been a manager. I could have done things. But I said no. And I need you to understand that I know what kind of guy you are. I get it. You're handsome. You're strong. You're young. You have looks. I know I did it right here in my hip, but I meant to do it in the screen. I say that because I know you do that thing where you would wink at me or you would do that too. It would break the ice, and yeah, there were times where you winked at me and I would go like on the inside. My feminism was outside and I was like that doesn't bother me. But the girly girl inside me was like, oh my god, I just winked at me. Listen, I've had experiences with dating wrestlers who are married. Just for your protection and for your sake, just don't do that to any other girl moving forward, please. Don't ice break anything by being super nice and nonchalante than just doing like the wink. That damn wink and smile. Oh, yeah. There's guys who are just genetically like just genuinely like I like just because of their genetics or just the way they look and their characteristics. But there's times where people had to like wink at me and be super suave and I already had my home wrecking era, okay? And I had to follow this guy who went to MPW who got opportunities because I guess he looked like the Devine brothers, and now he's not doing that because he thinks I'm out to get him. I just need to like start off slow. Maybe my name will be like Lexi Slams, or I don't know. We'll see. Ecstasy Lexi. Who knows? Just Brandon, stop winking at people. Stop doing that to girls. Stop trying to, make them feel special or unique. You know what I mean by special and unique. Stop winking. Stop talking to them in the back while they're trying to do their workout and you want to have a conversation while they're doing, sit-ups or push-ups, or don't give any girls advice on how to do exercises. If they want your advice, they'll ask you for advice. I just felt like you know what you were trying to do, and I was on board with it. I was just like, I can't speak about it. I can't speak about like things about like I had sex with one of the guys and it made Danny, try to make me feel I don't care who you fuck, we already did all that stuff already, so I didn't want to get into more trouble or let alone blacklisted just because, so-and-so. So just don't roll your eyes at any other girl. Not because I'm jealous. Maybe I am, but, just don't do it. Danny Devine. My last thing I do want to say about Danny Devine is the good things. I do admit we did have some good roles with Danny Devine. Conversations like again, I said, oh, I'll be like Molly Holly. I'll just do the little somersault thing. He goes, the superhero, and I go, yeah, the superhero. Goodness gracious. With Danny, I feel like there's times where like we did get like we would always like have conversations, not always have conversations, but have nice times. There was a time where he was getting married and he was like, please protect my balls. I'm gonna go through my honeymoon soon. I don't want to be injured. So that was kind of funny. He has jokes. He has a sense of humor. he wanted me to do this hurricanrana where he'd go over his shoulder, and then like I basically do like a crucifix pin on him, and it worked. It worked successfully to the point where like he, he never complimented me. He was always like good, not bad. It was never excellent, great, perfect. It was never that. I never got that because he was purposely trying to hurt my feelings, but it's okay. I did the move successfully, and everyone was just watching, and it's like, that was pretty good, ecstasy. And I told him, are your balls okay? I told him, are your balls okay? Because he even told everybody, do not hurt my balls, please. Thank you. Or I think somebody hurt his balls before me, and that's why he said, don't hurt his balls. And I didn't. I asked him, are your balls okay? He's like, yeah, they're good. Thanks. So that's like one of my greatest memories I had with him, just because it was a civil conversation, and it made people laugh, and it made people like, you know, oh, they're on their way, they're on their good roots. I would help fix the ring. He would give me the tool where I would, like, you know, crunch the ropes like this, and he would tell me the reason and how, and you know, if we don't do it, that means someone can fall, break their necks, you know, the ropes can be loose, the ropes can be too tight, someone can injure them, or they get whiplash or whatever. I was helping with the ropes, and we would have nice, you know, times doing that too. Like, he was like, this one too, Danny? Like, oh, okay, you know, it was nice. I have a smile on my face because I enjoyed the nice times with Danny. You know, I'm not always sad about the negative times. I enjoyed the little things. My God. I'm just thinking about like anything else. I would, you know, set up and help clean with the Friday shows, but everyone else knew that like I was, you know, coming here Fridays from Anaheim to Chatsworth for an hour and 45 minutes to help out with the rings. And, you know, I get people like, I get help to, I get to help people with like, their equipment. I think that's, no, ring gear. I think I already told you about that. Like, I get to help them with their stuff and take their things to the back. And there was a time where, people, the Blue Beetle, not the Blue Beetle, the Beetle, I don't know who it was, one of the superhero guys, they told me, hey, I appreciate everything you do here. And I was like, oh, thanks. Like being awkward and stupid and being dumb, you know. I felt like Lillian Garcia, just like standing in my little chair, just like waiting for the show to be over and hand somebody a title or hand somebody something. Thank you, Danny. You gave me the opportunity to help out on your shows at first before you started getting mad at me, and I still ended up going even when you were still getting mad at me because I cared and I wanted to help. The last thing I remember like being super nice with Danny was one time I was doing sit-ups and he walks up to me, and he didn't have to, he just didn't. He goes, hey Alexis, how are you doing? And I'm just doing peachy. He goes, peachy. I was like, all right, that's good. It's like, it was those calm like moments where like, you know, he was nice to me, and it's just, it made me question like, what the hell went wrong? Like, what started all this? Right, the whole reason this all started was because yet again I told someone how to roll or giving them advice when I shouldn't be doing that. This all started because he got mad at me because I was helping someone. And for 9 months, I did manage to pressure because I did not want to quit. I did not want to leave just because someone was being mean to me for the first 4 months. Yeah, I did leave after December. But I guess the real reason why I did leave was, yeah, he was nicer to me when Logan was around. Yeah, he was not going to change. He was not going to let me in the shows at this time. And he was only letting people who are literally the same skin tone as Danny. Okay, I'm going to say it. It's just so coincidence. Like, why are you, like, you let this... There was this boy who was in high school. I guess because he brought his dad, and he told his dad to talk to Danny. And surprise, they're the same skin tone. This person got to debut a month after training at MPW. It didn't bother me the fact that, oh, how dare this little boy get opportunities. No, I felt kind of happy for him. I felt kind of happy because, oh, he got to achieve his dreams and he's so young. Who cares about the other people around him? Like, right now, it's his opportunity. And I couldn't be happier because if I was in his shoes, I would be through the roof. But once again, this 16-year-old got opportunities because his father light skin spoke to the father, a light skinned guy spoke to Danny, and all of a sudden he's in a show. And me, I had to work for it, as usual. I didn't have to speak anyone, had to get anyone to speak for me. I didn't have to get anyone to be buddy or, you know, with Danny and, you know, put my son in the battle royal, you know. Again, I'm happy for him. It's just like, you know, I've been working really hard. I've been doing all this stuff. Maybe it's because I didn't have long hair, or maybe it's because I didn't resemble female. I'm happy that he got to Thunder Colt. I remember his name, Thunder Colt. I was even there when I helped him do his, yeah, I got in trouble for helping someone with doing a role, and then I helped Cole do the roles when Danny wasn't here. And the coaches were super fine. I got to help Thunder Colt, like, do all this super, like, drills and shit, and how to, like, be balanceful. And I'm now here on the sidelines watching him do his thing on a show. And that didn't hurt me. Okay, kind of hurt me, but, you know, I was kind of happy for Colt, mostly just because, you know, he's a kid. When I was 16, I was busy getting called fat by my parents, being called, oh, you're lazy, or you can't do this, or you can't do that. Thankfully, his parents love him to the fact that they got to talk to Danny Devine, and, you know, he got an opportunity. That always bothered me, how, oh, Danny Devine let a person get an opportunity because his father, of same skin tone as Danny, or I don't know what made it different this time. One of the, I guess, legitimate reasons why I left in December 2023. Godzilla Minus One was playing in theaters, and I love that movie so much. I saw it 21 times. I would spend $16 a ticket just to watch that movie over and over and over again. I loved it so much that I didn't want anything to bother me from being happy and watching this movie. I'm a huge Godzilla fanatic. I love the King of Monsters since I was 10 years old. VHS tapes were a thing. And I saw Godzilla so much in theaters where I told myself, why am I gonna go to training just so I can be hurt or discriminated or be shameful, or why am I gonna go to the same place to feel negative about myself? Why am I gonna go to the same place where I got in my car, drove home sometimes and cried and say, it's gonna get better, it's gonna get better? It never did. And when it did get better, it was only because there were other coaches around. So I told myself, let's not go there. To be honest, I think let's just not go to the trainings anymore. I just want to watch Godzilla and just be alone and just not give a fuck about anything anymore because I'm so happy. The CG was so good, it won Best Visual Effects at an Oscar. That's how good this movie was. And I didn't want my roller coaster of happiness to stop, so I told myself, let's stop going to wrestling. I'm just gonna get shamed, embarrassed, yelled at. I knew I wasn't gonna go anywhere if I stayed there. I knew if I stayed there, I'm just gonna be paying monthly, and having these new people go in, and then people come out, more people go in. But it's gonna help me with my character. It helps me become who I am. At the moment, I've experienced time in and time out growing up in school, how me being rejected from friends or me being kicked out of friend groups, you know, I'm used to it. I think I was just used to it at this time, that I'm tired of trying to make friends with people who already been friends since the ground up. I'm always the type of person who goes into a door and becomes friends with people who have been friends already. Never in my life have I ever lasted friends longer for 2 years, 3 years. And that's the truth. At this point, I'm just used to being lonely, to the point where I did not want to talk to anyone anymore. Nothing was going to change if I went back to MPW. I met my husband, started out as my boyfriend, became the manager's son, and the manager's son became the manager himself, and good for him. He's a white guy. I'm dating a white guy. Even to him, I contemplate like, oh, you just have things because your parents gave you your opportunities. You didn't have to work for anything. You didn't even graduate high school. I love my Republican boyfriend, and he loves me. A Democratic transgender. That's the reason why I kind of left MPW. Just because I knew I was being bothered. I knew nothing was going to change, and Godzilla came out. I didn't want to go back to going to a wrestling ring just to be yelled at by someone and have my happiness go down yet again. I got great feedback as well from like people. Jason Levi. Thank you, Jason. Jason Levi, the handsome devil, and Coach Steven. There was Maximilian, Auntie Heidi, and that Spanish wrestler with the rose, not Miggy Rose, just the Spanish wrestler with the rose and has like the you know, I forgot his name, but thank you. I'll always stay quiet to people who spoke to me quietly backstage or in the parking lot, how they're into twinks, how they could use a manager. I understand what you were trying to do. I understand in the wrestling world, you gotta take opportunities that you'll probably not be proud of, but I've been through so much shit where I don't want to be given a position where I have to do things to earn things. Like, you know, I didn't want to have sex to get opportunities, but I'll keep in mind that that does happen. I'll keep in mind that you're into twinks. I'll not say your name. I'll not say your name, but I'll be grateful that I got to get hit on while I had short hair by multiple group of men. Not at the same time. I'm not into that, but it's nice to know that people were willing to fuck me with short hair. Some did, some didn't. I could have been, you know, so-and-so, but I just didn't find certain people attractive. Some people I did, and I don't know. Remember what Denny said, focus on your mind in wrestling. It doesn't matter who you fucked. And he looks at me. And I'm like, I'm a little embarrassed. Like, yeah, I had sex. I'm an adult. Like, I'm not in love. I'm not like, oh my God, I had sex with this person. I'm going to be falling in love. No, I was respectful to the wrestlers. His wife, his, you know, girlfriend, is everything, you know. And I was told that, yeah, this person has sex with girls too, female wrestlers, so there's not a big change going on. Goodness gracious. So I guess I'm going to finish off with my final thoughts. Something I learned in MPW is that it's not a school. It's more of a club. You have to be best friends with Danny in order to get opportunities. And that's something that he didn't want to be for me. I tried being nice. I tried being respectful. And all I got was, get the fuck out of my ring. Him, you're a boy. Yeah. He did all that shit. He pulled my hair. Get the fuck out of my, get out of the chair. You can't just do what you want to do. Yeah, I dealt with it. I moved on. Brandon, I don't have much to say just because, you know, we're equal. We're okay. And I don't think Danny's a bully. I just think he's immature. I just think that you need some time to realize that not everything is about you. That some people have worked here, came from nothing. And I'm still running away. I still haven't spoken to my parents in a very long time. Right now I'm living with my boyfriend and I feel my husband. And I'm kind of happy about that. My parents kicked me out for being transgender in 2021. And that haunts me to this day. It lets me remember that I have to continue on. And it reminds me that I'm not going to take shit from anybody. Danny is the last person who's ever going to make me feel like that ever again. And I promise that if I go to wrestling school, God knows where, I'm going to make sure everybody sees this video. I'm going to make sure everyone knows who the hell I am and who the hell you tried to ruin. I understand that. Yeah, I probably fucked up by making this video. To any future person watching this, someone from someone booking shows or someone doing coaching or someone helping people become wrestlers, please understand where I'm coming from. And I am doing this because I've had enough of this. I will do better when I come to wrestling. I will stay quiet when I need to. I will talk when I need to. And I'm still going to hold on to my will. If I see something, I will say something. Maybe that might bite me in the ass really badly, but I'm trying to do the right thing. I'm trying to make sure that people don't get hurt mentally or physically. I understand there's these things called receipts and getting blacklisted, and I will take your words from it. People will not hire you. People will not want to be in your shows. People will not want even want people will not even want to talk to you. And yes, I will take your words for it, Danny Devine. I will take them, but I'm gonna make sure people know my side of the story too. I don't appreciate you only telling Logan the things that you want him to hear. You didn't tell him the whole truth, and that's what bothered me to this day. I'm gonna make sure people hear the truth. Jenny, you were fired by Peter Avalon, a wrestler who I know was in AEW. I don't know much about him, I'll be honest. I grew up mostly watching female wrestlers. From the Alundra Blazes to the Luna Vachons to Wendy Richter's, Trish and Lita, and all the Golden Girls that come afterwards. I'm a huge wrestling fan from the women's division. And that's what I want to be in life. I want to be part of the women's division. You got fired from Peter Avalon for talking so much shit about people. Workers, adults, wrestlers, for stage crew, or I don't know what kind of crew you were doing, shooting a movie, working at a production, or helping out a show. You got fired because of him, because you spoke about all the other people. You had to walk up to Logan to talk and cry about Peter Avalon, how he got him fired, how he got you fired. You got yourself fired. And you wanted Logan to talk to Peter Avalon. Hey, bro, you can't come in here no more. You got my man fired. You got my... What the fuck? You're trying to talk to Logan that, hey, Peter Avalon fired me because I kept talking about all the other wrestlers, or I don't know what the hell you were doing. I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to show everybody the truth, and I'm going to prove that it's right. I'm only telling you this because this is the same thing you did to me. You talk to Logan and say, hey, it's not working out with Ecstasy Lexi. It's not working out with Alexis Muniz Sanchez. I highly doubt you called me a she. I highly doubt you called me a her. But you were saying, oh, Alexis is doing this, isn't that? Why did Logan have to talk to me about it? I had to clarify with Logan on, oh, but this happened because of this happened because of that. You could have spoken to me about it. You're a 35-year-old man. You could have spoken to me, a 23-year-old at the time, that's saying, hey, we need to talk. But you never did. You stayed quiet. You didn't want to speak to me, and you were shy or nervous, or I don't know what the hell you were trying to do to apologize, but you never apologized. You try to become friends with me by saying like, oh, how are you feeling today? You can't say, oh, I'm sorry for calling you he, him. I'm sorry for trying to cause problems. I'm sorry for, trying to embarrass you in front of people. I'm just angry. I'm a coach. I get the anger get the best of me where I had to yell at people. That's not okay, Danny. Never in life is okay to yell at someone, to try to purposely embarrass them, to ridicule them, to mock them, to shame them, do whatever the hell you wanted to do with them, but you didn't have the right to treat me differently just because I am different. Lord, Peter Avalon fired you, and you were going to do the same thing that you did to him. Go to Logan because you're too scared to talk to Peter. You are scared to talk to me, that you had to go to Logan so Logan can talk to me. A last thing, Danny. My final thing. I know, like I said, you love Sonic the Hedgehog. You wore his little t-shirts all the time. I saw your backpack with Sonic the Hedgehog in it. You would talk about him. You would bring him up. I'm aware that the Sonic the Hedgehog movie is coming out on December 20th. I could have talked to you about this. I could have made this video during your wedding. I could have done this a long time ago. But I wanted to do it just so you can understand and make reason with the truth. The way you've been harassing me, the way you've been dealing with me, the way you've been trying to treat me so horribly in front of people who they couldn't say anything because they were worried that they were going to get blacklisted, you did to me. And I'm using that. I'm using that every day to become who I am. I already got my bachelor's degree. I already got what I needed. Maybe I went to the wrestling school a little too soon in MPW with my short hair because I couldn't stay away from it. I love wrestling. I want to be a wrestler. I want to manage people. I want to be, ladies and gentlemen, You know, I want to be an announcer. I want to be a commentator. I want to be a referee. I want to do so much for this business. You have no idea. Yeah, I took a 1 year absence because of you. Yeah, I shunned myself. Yeah, I had to stay away from people because I didn't want people to talk to me. They still have my phone number. They still talk to me, and I still talk to certain people. People who I've named and listed, I probably still talk to today. They probably know what's going on. They just can't say anything because you're around, because they don't want to get blacklisted. They don't want to lose opportunities, and God forbid they do that. Thank you, Auntie Heidi. You are the most amazing human being I've ever met in my entire life. You did everything you can to make sure that I am training well, to make sure that I am doing okay. Thank you for always trusting me. Thank you for always being there with me when Danny was too rude to me. You would always put me to the side and train with me. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you to Jason Levi. Your comment, and the handsome devil as well, your comments both made me leave in a good way. I did a drill with Heidi, and Coach Steven was watching, and it was so well that Jason Levi, someone way more talented than Danny Devine, in my opinion, not just because he's my friend, and the handsome devil himself, he also complimented me, like said, that was freaking amazing. Like, you're on your way, Alexis. Like, they gave me the pat on the back. They told me all these compliments that I never got from Danny. It was always wrong. The most compliment I've gotten from Danny was, that was okay. That was the most I've gotten from him. And me hearing someone say, oh, that was amazing. Oh, that was great. You're on your way. I just took it and said, thanks. Bye now. I left on a good note. I left on a good note with Steven and everyone. Ray Rosas, I'm not sure. Oh, Ray Rosas. I want to come back and impress him the most, just because I know he was the one who worked with me physically more, and he wanted to work with me. He saw faith in me. Something that Danny didn't see. Something that Brandon saw but did it the wrong way. You're married. Okay, so Danny, like I said, you love Sonic the Hedgehog so much. You love him because he's a hero, because he's a good guy. Yet you love him because you want to represent what he represents. You're trying to be what he is. Danny, with your fascination of Sonic the Hedgehog, do you think Sonic the Hedgehog would discriminate people? Do you think Sonic the Hedgehog would harass somebody, make them feel horrible about themselves to the point where they have to cry in their car when they headed home, saying, it's going to be all right, it's going to be okay, you got to keep going, you got to keep going? Would Sonic do that? Would Sonic the Hedgehog make someone feel so utterly embarrassed about themselves that they think, oh, maybe it's because I'm fat, maybe it's because I'm transgender, maybe it's the color of my skin? I mean, he's letting all these light-skinned people make debuts. Like, why am I the one lagging behind? What did I do? And yeah, I did came with short hair. Like I said, my husband died. I needed to restart. I wanted to go back to wrestling so much that I even came to your school with short hair and called myself a girl. Maybe it was my fault. Maybe you were right, but that did not give you the right to call me those horrible things you did. To try to embarrass me, to try to discriminate me, to try to make me feel not good about myself. And you know what you did. I'm going to use this to make sure that no one goes through what I went through. And I'm going to make sure that I'm going to become who I want to be. I'm already in my psychology degree. I'm a behavioral therapist. I'm already a 2-time married champion. I call myself a champion because I got married twice. And I'm going to show you my ring when I get my Instagram back. I'll get Instagram soon. And I'm going to see you again. Do I forgive you? No, I don't forgive you. I'll forgive you if you apologize in person. I'll see you in person someday. I highly guarantee you, because I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of anybody. That's all I have to say. Thank you for listening. I'm sorry it's 2 hours long. I had a lot on my mind. I hope that in the future, I will become successful as a wrestler. It's a new major I have to study itself, because my whole degree came in like psychology. Now I have to focus on my psychology in the wrestling ring. Maybe I'll get a shorter nose. Maybe I'll have tits by the year 2027. Maybe I'll be women's champion. I'm happy. And nothing's gonna make me feel like shit anymore. And if someone does, I'm gonna say something. If it gets me in trouble, at least I tried doing the right thing. Thank you for listening, and have a good one.